Okay, welcome everybody. I'm talking to Dave Shaw today, and Dave started learning with me to play guitar. It's coming up to about a year that we've been working together. So I wanted to share some of his experience with you all today. He's had an amazing sort of progress from where he was to where he is now, and so I really wanted to share that with you guys. So Dave, thanks for joining me today. I really appreciate it.
No, it's a pleasure, Ian. I'm glad to
Cool.
be with you.
Cool, lovely stuff. So let's start with what was your motivation for wanting to play the guitar originally?
I think I've always been musical, or I consider myself always to be musical, and did various plays and concerts at school and whatever, but I could never pick up an instrument. And on growing up, I used to go to my gran and granddad's quite a lot, and there was always a guitar in the house, although nobody could ever play it. It was always my ambition to one day be able to play it. But over the years, I think I've taught myself out of it because I've got quite large fingers. That's quite a common complaint with a lot of the chaps on the process, that they probably talked themselves out of it. So I was no different. So that was a motivation. I always wanted to be able to play the guitar and actually get a tune out of it, get a song out of it, and you know, and sing along. And that's where my motivation comes from.
Cool, excellent. And whereabouts were you with your guitar playing before we started working together?
Pretty much nowhere really. I've got an 11-year-old daughter, and I picked up a little 20 quid guitar at the local charity shop. And it was probably on the run up just before lockdown that I started sort of thinking, well, it's sitting in the corner of the room. Let's see if I can get some noise out of it. So I started sort of playing about on that, and went from there really.
Cool, fantastic. And how come you chose to work specifically with me?
Well, your sort of advert came up on Facebook, funnily enough, and was on there one day, and it came up about the jangle chords. Get 6 free chords and have a listen. And I looked at that and looked at the explanation and how you put things across, and I thought, well, no, I'm going to give that a try because that seems like something that I could sort of get to grips with. Uh, so that's where I started on Facebook, basically.
Cool, lovely stuff. And then we've been working together for a while now. And what was your experience like during sort of the program, during my teaching?
It really is enjoyable, which is the main thing. It's structured in a way that you can follow it right from the very sort of get go, as it were, and you can pick up the little tips that you're given to get yourself progressed towards playing the chords and playing the songs fairly early on in the process, which then sort of whets your appetite to get involved more. So yeah, it was well structured, and you're no, not more sort of blow your trumpet, but your teaching methods are excellent, and you're so patient with with everybody basically, and that is helpful as well.
Cool, thank you. Oh, you're doing great. And what was the? Do you remember the first song that you learned to play?
Uh, it was "Let It Be" by John Lennon. That was one of the first ones, followed by "Stand by Me" by John Lennon, and then "Let It Be" by the Beatles.
Ah, yeah.
Those were the first two. I would say I'm probably not the biggest fan of the Beatles over the years, but certainly since I joined your process, the amount of songs, I should have said great songs that they've done that I didn't even realise that they'd done, has sort of whetted my appetite to play more Beatles stuff. But basically, I just like to play any sort of music, especially stuff by the Eagles and
Nice.
bands like that.
Cool.
So
Yeah, it's great. It's great stuff. Strong songs, I think. Um, did you learn? We recently did a Peaceful Easy Feeling. Did you ever go at that one?
yes, yeah, I did, and it's been the first sort of dip in the water for the bar chords. That's why when we were on the lesson, I said, "Could you just show me that bar chord again?" Not saying that it's brilliant, but yeah, it's just trying to speed up a little bit while you're playing it and trying to get the sound right. Uh, yeah, so yeah, I did join and really enjoyed it the other night.
Cool, excellent. So that's the sort of the current sort of project of your playing, getting comfortable with the bars and the changes between them. And
Yes, within reason, and also the what we were doing last night with um, the blocking. Certainly with November Rains, I hadn't heard that song before by Harry Chapin and really enjoyed it. And you know the sound and the melody within the song uh, really is good. So I've been working quite a bit on that over the last sort of couple of weeks since we did it.
fantastic. Yeah, that's worked well with the November Rains and Millionaire that we did yesterday, because obviously you got that percussive kind of chopping technique in there in
Yeah,
both
that
songs.
millionaire was a whole different level, especially the intro and the ending for somebody at my sort of relatively new to orange pick level.
Yeah, great. Cool. Well, you're done fantastic to get to Orange Pick level. That's a huge achievement. Do you what other songs have you learnt to play sort of on the way?
Free Falling by Tom Petty. I loved that one. Oh, that white pick originally, and then I did the yellow pick version of that. And also Mad World by Gary Jules. Uh, Quite a weird and wonderful song, but it reminds me of sort of growing up.
Mm.
Uh, sort of a bit of everything really. I tried the Hotel California by the Eagles. Tried a couple of Oasis tracks. Uh, Albeit the Oasis look fairly simple, some of the tracks sometimes, but they are quite surprisingly difficult to play and get the right melody. Uh, but yeah, pretty much tried most of the things that we've been doing over the last 3 4 months. Definitely been in on the lessons on a Thursday night. So as you know, there's been a wide variety of stuff put forward by the members of the process.
Yeah, fantastic. Do you know how many songs in total you're playing?
Uh, Roughly about 70 to 80 songs.
70 to
I'm
80.
not saying that they're all to a great standard, but they're certainly mostly recognisable as the songs are supposed to be. So
Yeah, fantastic. That's really really great. Excellent. And to get that far from white through to yellow to orange, from starting from scratch really, and learning that many songs. What does your practice look like? Are you like how many days a week do you pick up the guitar and for how long?
I pretty much took you at your word right back at the beginning when you said whatever you do, try and pick up the guitar every day, even if it's just for 5 minutes. Generally, I pick up the guitar most days, pretty much, and it lasts a lot longer than 5 minutes. I can be there for an hour and you've just totally lost yourself.
Yeah.
But practice wise, it's probably mostly about 3/4 of an hour to an hour most days. The odd day now and again where I haven't been able to get to it, but I'll still pick it up maybe for 5 minutes just to practice a few of the
Mhm.
changes. I'm doing the chord changes on the orange pick level at the moment, so I've been working on them and getting them up to speed before I move forward. But in the meantime, playing songs at that level as well, or practicing songs. But yeah, pretty much most days.
Cool. That's fantastic. Great. The consistency is really really helpful, isn't it?
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, my wife kept saying to me, "You need to get a hobby." And I said, right, okay, I can go to the golf course and spend 4 or 5 hours away on the golf course. And she wasn't too happy with that. I said, but if I play guitar, I can do an hour a day, and she's quite happy with that. So,
yeah, lovely. Excellent. Does she recognise the songs that you're playing?
yeah, she's pretty good at encouraging me to sort of play the songs. And also, when we've got friends here, she'll try and encourage me to get the guitar out. But yeah, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not so good.
Sure. Yeah,
Depends,
definitely. When
depends on our levels, really.
yeah, when you've got people there, go on, play us a song.
Yeah, well, they know. No, I've always said, oh yeah. And they said, what have you done today? I said, oh, I've been practicing the guitar. Oh, go and give us a song. Sort of puts you on the spot a bit because you've been busy saying that you're busy practicing. So you really need to sort of show show the work that you've done, really.
Yeah, sure. Do you have a particular song that you play if people ask for it, ask you to play something or?
Not really. No, it's generally pretty much what we're doing at the time with regards to the Thursday night lessons. I've been doing quite well with that song. No,
Mhm.
but no, nothing. There's not what you would call a go-to song.
Yeah.
You know, try and keep it because then you're pretty much seen as a bit of a one-trick pony then.
That's true. That's true. Some people have a theme song. I didn't for years. I would never. When people would ask me to play something, I'd do something on the spot and not have something prepared. But sometimes, in terms of if there's nerves involved and that sort of thing, it's good to have a something that you do wheel out that you've got this ready. So if people ask for it, that's the thing you're going to do. But I know what you mean. Like if you show that to lots of people and then they have a chat about it, they might think you can only play one song.
Yeah. I still do. I use the chord sheets. I still haven't got to the stage like some of the guys and girls that are able to play from memory, sort of thing. Having practiced the song, I'm still not at that. Although I'd like to be at that level, I'm still not quite there.
Fair
So
enough. I think it comes down to the focus. Like you're with the volume of songs you've learned, it's incredible amount. So it would be the case of choosing to memorize some of the songs, and that would probably slow down the pace a little bit, or develop technique and more repertoire of songs. Do you know what I mean? It's like what
I think
one
if
or
I
the
had something planned where maybe I was going around with friends and they said, "Oh, bring your guitar and give us a few tunes," I'd probably pick up sort of half a dozen or so and sort of really hit them hard to
other.
sort of get to a good level so that we could have a bit of a sing song really.
Yeah, lovely. That sounds great. And do you have any advice, or what advice do you have for an adult beginner who's looking to learn to play guitar? Maybe they've talked themselves out of it, like you said at the beginning. What would you advise them?
I would say get involved in your process first and foremost because it's well structured, it's easy to follow. Your teaching methods are probably second to none. Patience. But the other thing is to enjoy it. Just enjoy it. Don't be too hard on yourself uh, or critical, really, on yourself because we've all been there. We've all been at the learning stage where you think, God, that sounds awful, sort of thing. It's surprising how quickly you move on if you put the work in. That's the thing. If you put the work in, the rewards are there. But enjoy it. Don't overanalyze things and don't criticize yourself too much if you have a bad day or you play a few bad chords. That's life. Just enjoy is the main thing.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, that's solid advice. Absolutely. Something I heard, I can't remember where I got it from really, is that when if you're getting frustrated with anything you're doing and maybe you're giving yourself a hard time, like you have to think about whose side you're on really. And if you're on your own side, don't be so hard on yourself. And when you relax into it, actually it's easier. It's when the tension comes in that it makes things harder, isn't it?
Some practice sessions when you're really in the zone and you're relaxed sound so much better than sometimes when you've maybe had a hard day and you've forced yourself to you want to go and practice but you're sort of forcing it a little bit.
Mhm.
But it's so much easier when you're relaxed and no and yeah, don't do yourself down. That's the main thing.
Yeah, definitely. Solid advice. Cool. Well, thanks, Dave. I really appreciate it. It's great to hear more of the details of sort of overview of your journey and your experience as well, and really to share them with other people. I mean, I know where you are with your playing and that kind of thing, but I just wanted to share this with people because you've had a brilliant experience so far, the
Yeah,
progress, and
and that's been made even better by the people on the process. They're so supportive. Certainly on the mentoring calls on a Tuesday night, where you're dialing in, everybody's giving each other encouragement, and that works really well because it shows that you're not just on your own and you're not wasting your time. You are actually making some sort of progress. So it makes a big difference.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's fantastic. I'm blown away by it, by the members and the encouragement and stuff, and the help and advice they give to each other as well and support. It's fantastic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
really, really great. Cool. Well, thanks very, very much, Dave, and
My pleasure.
I'll speak to you soon.
Cheers, Ian. Thank you.
Cheers.